Hello, my name is Nicole Top and I am a 32-year-old woman with Turner syndrome. I am making this video to answer a few questions about Turner syndrome. The first question that I would like to answer is, what is Turner syndrome? Turner syndrome is a chromosomal condition that affects the sex chromosomes of females. So, one or both of the X chromosomes that would make a female, either one would be missing entirely or one or both could be broken. And that is the cause of Turner syndrome. Some of the most common symptoms of Turner syndrome, the first being shorter stature. I myself am lucky to be 5 feet tall. I did take growth hormone growing up. Infertility is a major concern and problem within the Turner syndrome community. It is very common, of course, when you're talking about, sex chromosomes. Infertility is unfortunately extremely common. Some cardiac conditions can be common within Turner syndrome, as well as thyroid conditions, some liver and kidney conditions, as well as some celiac and allergy conditions can be associated with Turner syndrome. Not everyone with Turner syndrome has any or all of those symptoms, but those are among the most common. Turner syndrome is considered rare. It affects approximately 1 in 2,000 females. So that is just a little bit about Turner syndrome. The second question that I would like to answer is, how was I diagnosed with Turner syndrome? And I was very fortunate. I was diagnosed through amniocentesis when my mom was still pregnant with me. So they knew right away when I was still in utero that I had Turner syndrome. I will say the average age of diagnosis with Turner syndrome is 15. And the earlier that you are diagnosed with Turner syndrome, the better healthcare and treatment outcomes that you can have. Because, the doctors can start monitoring what needs to be monitored. They can make sure you are getting the proper healthcare and the proper treatments that you need. So the earlier that you are diagnosed, the better. The next question that I would like to answer is, what has been my biggest struggle with my Turner syndrome? And for myself, I have had a lot of the cardiac conditions that can be associated with Turner syndrome. So when I was 18 months old, I had coarctation of my aorta, and recently I had open heart surgery to replace my aortic valve. I had a classic bicuspid aortic valve, and my ascending aorta also needed to be replaced, as well as a part of my aortic root needed to be replaced. So for myself, my cardiac, status has been my biggest struggle that I've had with Turner syndrome. What has been my biggest success with my Turner syndrome? And for myself, I would say that my biggest success with my Turner syndrome has been the relationships that I have with my husband and my family. I am very fortunate that I come from a very supportive and close-knit family, and especially my mom and my grandma, who have supported me you know, since I was born. And recently, you know, my husband, who I have to say, I am very fortunate. My husband's name is Richard, and I have a very amazing and supportive husband. And, you know, as I mentioned, I recently had open heart surgery, so he has been doing an excellent job of taking care of me while I recover. Also, recently, I have been trying to be more open about my Turner syndrome and trying to get more involved within the Turner syndrome community and just trying to learn as much as I can about Turner syndrome. So for myself, that has been a big success and, you know, a big step forward in the right direction. So I also would consider that a great success. The final question that I would like to answer is, what does awareness for the Turner syndrome community mean to me? And I would say, you know, awareness is extremely important. The more that people are aware of Turner syndrome and know what it is, you know, the better, and particularly people within the healthcare communities and healthcare professions, the more knowledge and awareness that we can spread out into the world, the better. And particularly for, you know, girls and women who are newly diagnosed, so that they can get all the healthcare and treatment that they need, to, you know, make sure that they can make the best healthcare decisions for themselves. You know, I would say I am very fortunate that I've been followed by excellent doctors who, you know, have given me the best healthcare advice for myself. And the other part of awareness that I feel is very important is the support within the Turner syndrome community. Again, particularly for girls and women who are newly diagnosed. You know, I am here to say that you are not alone, that this community is here for you. We, you know, supporting each other and being around people who have similar experiences to yourself is a very powerful thing. And I think that, and it's very helpful. And so, you know, I think that that's the other aspect of awareness that is so important, and just to be there together as a community. So I hope that through watching this video, you have been able to learn a little something about Turner syndrome, and I thank you for listening to me, and I hope to come at you with more videos in the future. So with that, I will leave you with a goodbye and a thank you.